Welcome back to the channel JF coin lovers and treasure hunters to another exciting journey into the world of rare and valuable coins. Today we are going deep into the history, the value, and the amazing story of the 1957 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent. This 1 cent coin may look small, but it carries a giant story of American history, incredible design. And yes, it could be worth hundreds of dollars in today's coin market, with some examples reaching as high as $442, or even more depending on rarity and condition. So stay with me until the end, because you do not want to miss the secrets behind the 1957 Ultra Wheat Penny, and how you might have one hiding in your collection, in an old jar, or even in your pocket change. Let's begin with the history. The wheat penny or Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th birthday of Abraham Lincoln, one of America's greatest presidents. It was the very first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and that portrait was none other than Abraham Lincoln himself. The reverse side of the coin carried the famous wheat stalks, two beautiful ears of wheat standing tall, symbolizing prosperity and growth in the nation. For 50 years, from 1909 all the way until 1958, the wheat penny became an icon of American coinage, and the 1957 edition was one of the very last years this design was struck. That makes it highly collectible for both beginners and expert coin collectors. Now let's take a closer look at the coin itself. The obverse or front of the coin shows the bust of President Abraham Lincoln facing right, designed by Victor David Brenner, with the famous motto "In God We Trust" written above. To the left we see the word liberty, and to the right the year 1957. The mint mark, if there is one, appears just below the year. The reverse shows the classic wheat ears circling the words 1 cent and United States of America, along with the motto "E pluribus unum" across the top. This design remained unchanged for decades, and still today the wheat penny is one of the most recognized coins in the world. Of numismatics, the 1957 wheat penny was struck in two major varieties: the Philadelphia issue with no mint mark and the Denver issue with a small D mint mark. Both varieties were minted in huge numbers, over 1 billion coins in total. But what makes them special today is not just how many were made, but how few remain in pristine condition. Think about it. These coins were everyday money in the 1950s, passed through millions of hands, worn down in pockets, vending machines, and store counters. Finding one in uncirculated or mint state condition is like finding a hidden treasure from history, and that is where the value begins to climb. Now let's talk about the value. A common circulated 1957 penny may only be worth a few cents, maybe 10 or 20 if it is lightly worn. But when you find a coin in brilliant uncirculated condition with full red luster shining like the day it was struck, collectors will pay a premium. Some examples have been graded at the highest levels by professional services like PCGS and NGC, and those coins have sold for hundreds of dollars. In fact, one special 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in top gem condition has reached market values of $442, and even higher in auctions where eager collectors are willing to outbid each other for that perfect piece of history. And that is not all. There are rarer varieties of the 1957 penny that can make the value skyrocket. Look out for double die obverse coins where the date or letters appear doubled, or off-center strikes, or even coins struck on wrong planchets. These rare minting mistakes can transform a simple 1 cent piece into a treasure worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So always check your coins carefully, because that ordinary-looking penny might actually be a rare error hiding in plain sight. The popularity of the wheat penny continues to this day. Collectors love to build full sets from 1909 to 1958. And the 1957 issue holds a special place as one of the last in the series before the design changed to the Lincoln Memorial, reverse in 1959. That means every collector wants it, and demand is strong. Whether you have the Philadelphia version or the Denver version, If your coin is in brilliant red mint state, it can command serious money on the open market. Imagine this. You could be holding in your hand a coin that is over 60 years old, a coin that has passed through generations, a coin that connects us to the past, and yet it is still only 1 cent in face value. That is the magic of coin collecting. History and value combined in the palm of your hand. So next time you see a 1957 wheat penny, don't just think of it as pocket change. Think of it as a small piece of American history. Examine it closely. Check the mint mark. Look at the color, red, brown, or red-brown. Study the strike, the details in Lincoln's hair, the sharpness of the wheat stalks. And if it looks perfect, you may be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. Collectors all over the world are paying attention to coins like this because the market is hot. Auctions, coin shows, and online sales prove that demand for wheat pennies is not slowing down. And remember, the top gem 1957 wheat pennies can reach values of $442 or even more depending on rarity, grade, and demand, so start checking your change. Search through your old coin jars. Ask your grandparents if they have any old wheat pennies lying around. Who knows, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure that could turn 1 cent into hundreds of dollars. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the story of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny. If you enjoyed learning about the history, the design, and the value of this amazing coin, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other coin lovers. And remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes even a simple penny can be worth a fortune. Keep collecting, keep searching, and who knows, the next great discovery might be in your pocket right now. Do you want me to also add a special section with storytelling style tips for thumbnails and title hooks to make your YouTube video even more clickable? Today we are diving deep into the fascinating history and incredible value of one of the most popular coins in United States history, the legendary wheat penny. More specifically, we are going to talk about the 1956 Lincoln wheat cent. This little coin may only say 1 cent on the front, but let me tell you, in today's collector's market, this penny is worth far more than just 1 cent. In fact, rare and high-grade examples of the 1956 wheat penny have been known to sell for hundreds of dollars, even reaching values of over $442. That is right, a simple penny in your pocket change could be a hidden treasure worth big money. Let us start with the background. The Lincoln wheat cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of the birth of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. For the first time in American history, a real historical figure was placed on a circulating coin. Victor David Brenner, the designer, created the famous bust of Lincoln that still remains on our pennies to this very day. The reverse of the coin originally showed 2 simple wheat stalks circling the words 1 cent and United States of America. These wheat ears gave the coin its popular nickname, the wheat penny. Now, fast forward to the mid-1950s. The United States Mint in Denver produced an enormous number of Lincoln wheat cents in 1956. In fact, the mintage for the 1956 penny is staggering. Over 1 billion coins were struck. That makes it one of the most common wheat pennies ever made. Because of this, most circulated examples are only worth a few cents each today. However, the real story begins when we talk about high-grade coins and rare errors. Collectors will pay massive premiums for coins that are in perfect or near-perfect condition. When you hear about the 1956 penny selling for over $400, those are coins that have been graded by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC and have received very high mint state grades, usually MS66 or higher. These coins have blazing original luster, no scratches, no spots, no signs of wear, and they look as if they were just struck yesterday. Out of the more than 1 billion coins made, only a tiny fraction survive in this perfect state, and that is why they command such high prices. But that is not all. Error coins from 1956 are also highly sought after. Collectors look for double dice, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, and other unusual minting mistakes. A double die penny shows doubling on the lettering or the date, making the details look thicker or like they were struck twice. A repunched mint mark, known as an RPM, is when the Denver D mint mark was punched into the die more than once in slightly different positions. These errors make the coin much scarcer and collectors go crazy for them. Depending on the severity of the error, the value can range from a few dollars to hundreds of dollars. Think about it. A coin that was originally meant for everyday use, tossed into pockets, purses, and piggy banks, could now be worth serious money if it survived in pristine condition. That is why collectors all around the world love searching through old wheat pennies. Every roll, every jar of pennies, and every coin inherited from family could hold a hidden treasure. The 1956D penny also represents the final years of the wheat cent design. Just 3 years later in 1959, the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial, ending the 50-year run of the wheat ears design. This makes the late 1950s wheat pennies especially nostalgic for collectors, because they are the last examples of a truly classic American coin design. So, what should you look for if you have a 1956D penny? First, check the condition. If your coin has sharp details, full original red luster, and no scratches, it could be worth sending in to be graded. Next, check for mint errors such as double dice or repunched mint marks. These varieties can turn an ordinary penny into a valuable collectible. Finally, always keep in mind that the coin market is constantly changing. Prices rise and fall depending on demand, but high-quality wheat pennies will always hold strong value because collectors will never stop chasing them. Today, the average 1956D penny in worn circulated condition might only be worth about 5 to 10 cents, but high-grade coins can jump to values of over $100, $200, even $400 or more. In fact, some of the top auction sales for the 1956D penny have crossed the $400 mark, proving just how valuable this little copper coin can be when it is in the right condition. Imagine holding a penny in your hand that collectors are willing to pay $442 for. That is the magic of coin collecting. The story of the 1956D wheat penny is more than just numbers and prices. It is a reminder of history, of Abraham Lincoln's legacy, of America in the 1950s, and of how something as small as a penny can carry so much meaning and value. That is why collectors and treasure hunters never stop searching. You never know when the next coin you find might be a life-changing discovery, so keep your eyes open, keep checking your pocket change, and if you ever come across a shiny 1956D wheat penny that looks brand new, do not overlook it. You could be holding a coin worth hundreds of dollars. If you enjoyed learning about this amazing coin and want to see more stories about rare and valuable United States coins, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Share this video with other coin lovers and let us spread the excitement of collecting rare pennies. Thank you for watching, and remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a lot more than 1 cent. Do you want me to also add a super catchy YouTube title and thumbnail text idea for this script so it grabs even more clicks? Today, we are going to talk about one of the most iconic, most collected, and most fascinating coins in American history. That is the 1956 wheat penny, also known as the 1956 Lincoln cent. You may be surprised to learn that this small 1-cent coin, which most people think is only worth a penny, could actually be worth hundreds of dollars today. Some rare examples have even been sold for over $400 in today's collector market. So stay with me until the end because I will share with you the history, the details, and the current market value of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny, plus some secrets you need to know if you ever come across one of these amazing coins in your pocket change or old coin jars. Let us begin with the history. The Lincoln cent was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin featured the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, or front side, which was the very first time a real historical person had appeared on a regular circulating United States coin. From 1909 until 1958, the reverse, or back side, of the Lincoln cent displayed two wheat stalks, which is why collectors call these coins wheat pennies. This design lasted nearly 50 years until it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Now let's focus on the year 1956. By this time, America was in the post-World War II economic boom, and coin production was running strong. The 1956 Lincoln wheat cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark and at the Denver Mint, with a small D mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint struck more than 420 million wheat cents in 1956, while the Denver Mint struck an even higher number, over 1 billion pieces. That means the coin is not considered rare in terms of mintage numbers. However, the condition, errors, and varieties are what make certain 1956 wheat pennies worth a fortune today. So what makes the 1956 wheat penny valuable? The first factor is condition. A worn 1956 penny that has been circulated in pockets and purses for decades will usually only be worth its copper value, maybe just a few cents. But if you have one in extremely high grade, meaning it has sharp details, beautiful red color, and almost no marks, collectors will pay big money. A regular 1956 wheat cent in mint state condition graded MS65 red can sell for around $20 to $30. But in ultra-high grades like MS67 or higher, the price can climb into the hundreds. Some pristine examples with blazing red luster have been auctioned for over $400, making this tiny cent an ultra-valuable piece of history. The second factor is mint errors and die varieties. During the 1950s, quality control at the mints was not as strict as today. This allowed some unusual coins to slip into circulation. For the 1956 Lincoln cent, collectors search for double die obverse where parts of the design, such as the date or letters, appear double due to a misalignment during the striking process. These double die pennies are scarce and can be worth hundreds depending on how strong the doubling appears. There are also repunched mint marks, where the Denver mint mark was punched more than once, creating a shadow or doubling effect on the D. These error varieties are extremely collectible and can command premium prices in the coin market. Now let us talk about how to identify a valuable 1956 wheat penny. First, check the date. Make sure it is clearly 1956. Next, look at the reverse to see the wheat stalks and the words 1 cent United States of America. Then pay attention to the mint mark. If there is no mint mark under the date, it came from Philadelphia. If there is a small d, it came from Denver. After that, look at the coin's condition. Does it have its original red color, or is it brown and worn? Does it have strong details in Lincoln's hair and the wheat ears? If it looks almost brand new, it might be worth sending to a grading service like PCGS or NGC, because that could increase its value dramatically. Finally, take a magnifying glass and check for any doubling or mint mark varieties, because those are the real treasures. So what are the current market values? A common circulated 1956 wheat penny might only bring 5 to 10 cents from a dealer. But in uncirculated condition, prices rise quickly. A beautiful red example graded MS65 can bring $30 to $50. And the finest known examples, especially those with errors or in MS67 or MS68 grade, can reach up to $400 or even more. Some rare error examples have even crossed that mark in auctions. Imagine holding a coin that looks like just a regular penny, but in reality, it is worth several $100s. That is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Let us also remember the historical importance. The 1956 wheat penny is one of the last few years of the wheat design before it was replaced with the Lincoln Memorial, reverse in 1959. That makes it a closing chapter in the story of America's most beloved coin series. Collectors love building complete sets of Lincoln wheat cents, which includes every date and mint mark from 1909 to 1958. So even though the 1956 wheat penny may seem common, it is still a vital part of any Lincoln cent collection. Now here's something interesting. Many people keep jars, piggy banks, or old coffee cans full of pennies in their homes. If you ever come across one, do not ignore it. There could be a 1956 wheat cent hiding inside, waiting to be discovered. And if it happens to be in pristine condition, it could be worth hundreds of dollars. That is why coin collectors always say, check your change, because treasures are still out there. So to summarize, the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny may look like just a small copper coin, but its story is rich with history. From being part of the iconic wheat cent design, to its connection to Abraham Lincoln, to the potential for rare high-grade examples and valuable error varieties, this coin has captured the attention of collectors for decades. While most 1956 wheat cents are worth only a few cents, the special ones in mint state or with errors can be worth a lot of money, with some reaching $442 or even more in today's market. That is why coin collecting is such a fascinating hobby. It combines history, art, and treasure hunting into one. And who knows, maybe you already have a fortune sitting in your coin jar without even realizing it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed learning about the 1956 wheat penny, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another video about rare and valuable coins. Share this video with your friends and family so they too can check their pennies and maybe find hidden treasures. Until next time, happy collecting and always remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes that story is worth a lot more than 1 cent. Would you like me to also write a catchy YouTube title and thumbnail text for this script to maximize clicks and views? Today's market. In this video, we will dive deep into one of the most popular and widely collected coins in U.S. history, the 1957 wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln wheat cent. Believe it or not, some of these small copper coins, worth just 1 cent when they were minted, can today bring hundreds of dollars, and in certain rare cases, values climb as high as $442 or even more depending on condition and rarity. So get ready, because this is not just a story about a penny. This is a story about history, design, hidden errors, minting secrets, and the surprising market values that collectors around the world are willing to pay. Let us begin with the background. The 1957 wheat penny belongs to the famous Lincoln wheat cent series that was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of President Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this coin was the very first regular issue United States coin to feature a real person, and that person was none other than Abraham Lincoln, the beloved 16th President of the United States. On the obverse, or the front of the coin, we see Lincoln's portrait with the words "In God We Trust" at the top, the word "Liberty" to the left, and the date 1957 to the right, which instantly identifies its year of mintage. On the reverse side, we see the famous wheat ears on both sides, surrounding the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto "E pluribus unum" across the top. That is why these coins are affectionately called wheat pennies. Now, why is the 1957 wheat penny so special? Well, this coin was minted in 2 locations, Philadelphia with no mint mark, and Denver with a small D mint mark right below the date. In total, more than 1 billion of these coins were struck between both mints. Philadelphia produced over 282 million coins while Denver produced a massive 1 billion coins. So technically, they are not considered rare in the general sense. However, What makes certain examples extremely valuable today are two key factors: condition and error varieties. Let's talk about condition first. Most 1957 wheat pennies circulated heavily in everyday commerce. They were used in shops, for candy, newspapers, and daily purchases during the late 1950s and well into the 1960s. As a result, many of these coins show heavy wear, scratches, and dull surfaces. However, coins that were saved right after minting, especially those that remain in uncirculated condition, are the ones that today can fetch big money. In average circulated condition, a 1957 wheat penny may only be worth a few cents, perhaps up to 25 cents. But in uncirculated mint state condition with bright red luster, values begin to climb. Collectors especially pay high premiums for coins graded mint state 65 or higher by professional grading companies. A 1957 wheat penny in superb gem condition can easily be worth $30 to $50. But here's where it gets exciting. Ultra-high-grade examples, with flawless surfaces, strong strikes, and brilliant red color, have sold for hundreds of dollars at auctions. Some pristine examples, graded MS67 red, have crossed the $400 mark, with reported sales reaching as high as $442 for a single coin. Imagine finding one of those in your old change jar. Now let's move to error coins, which are always thrilling for collectors. The 1957 wheat penny is known to have several interesting error varieties that command strong prices. Double die obverse, where the lettering or date appears double due to a misalignment in the die, are highly collectible. You may see doubling on Liberty or In God We Trust, which instantly boosts the coin's value. Off-center strikes are another sought-after error, where part of the design is missing because the coin was not properly aligned during striking. Such errors can range in value from $50 to hundreds, depending on how dramatic the mistake is. Another error to look out for is the repunched mint mark on 1957 D coins. This happens when the Denver mint mark was punched into the die more than once in slightly different positions, creating a noticeable doubling effect. Collectors absolutely love these repunched mint mark varieties, and they can easily bring premiums of $20 to $100 or more depending on condition. Beyond condition and errors, the 1957 wheat penny carries strong historical value. It was among the last years of the wheat penny design. Just 1 year later, in 1959, the reverse design was changed from the wheat ears to the Lincoln Memorial in honor of the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. That makes 1957 one of the final farewell years of the iconic wheat design that had been in circulation for half a century. For collectors, that fact alone makes it an important year to own. Now let's look at the market demand. Today, wheat pennies are among the most collected U.S. coins in the world. Millions of people, from beginners to seasoned numismatists, love building complete sets of wheat cents from 1909 to 1958. The 1957 issue is a must-have coin to complete such a set. That strong demand ensures that even common examples always hold a premium above face value, while high-quality and error coins command serious money. The market value for a gem red 1957 wheat penny has reached as high as $442, and if you were lucky enough to own an example with a dramatic error in top condition, it could be worth even more. So, if you come across a 1957 wheat penny, do not ignore it. Take a close look at the coin. Check if it has the D mint mark or no mint mark. Look carefully at the lettering for signs of doubling. Inspect the mint mark for signs of repunching. And always examine the overall condition and color. A bright red, glossy, uncirculated example may just turn out to be worth far more than you imagine. In conclusion, the 1957 wheat penny may seem like just an ordinary coin at first glance, but in reality, it is a piece of American history, an iconic design, and a collector favorite that continues to grow in value. From a coin that once bought a piece of candy in the 1950s, to a rare example that today can sell for up to $442 or more. This is proof that small change can carry big rewards. So the next time you search through your old coin jar, your inherited collection, or a roll of pennies from the bank, remember to keep an eye out for that shiny 1957 wheat penny. Because that little cent could very well be worth a fortune. Would you like me to also write you a shorter, attention-grabbing YouTube title and description that will help this video rank better and attract more viewers?